Hello everyone, this is Sonali. Welcome all of you in day 6. We are having amazing speakers and co-hosts with us. So let's start today's session. Yes, Manoj, you can start.
Yeah, you can bring up slide of interview question. Okay, I'm going this question with Sandeep. Hi, Sandeep. The question we have like this scenario question. We have our one of our company have a workloads which we are using a M5 large instance on demand instance, and it is running 24 into 7 every day, every week, every month, every year, like that. And also our finance company, what they ask is we need to minimize that cost up to minimum 40%, whatever current cost. Okay, so how you use the reserve instance to achieve this, and which type of a reserve instance you will use, and why you will prefer that?
Okay. So
Yeah.
in this scenario, currently the workload is a 24 by 7
Hmm.
on M5 large on the
Yes.
on demand instance.
Hmm.
So we would choose reserve instance as they provide us long term commitment discount.
Hmm.
So uh, AWS provides uh, uh, reserve instances. There will be three types. First one is standard RI, second one is convertible RI, the third one is a schedule RI. So
Hmm.
standard RI gives us up to 70% of savings
Hmm.
versus on demand.
Hmm.
But we have a lock-in to a specific instance, family, or region.
Hmm.
So in convertible RIs, we get a flexibility over the instance changes or maybe size, and the schedule arise for using for the just specific schedule, not for 24 by 7. So here our criteria is our workload is 24 by 7 constantly running, so the
Hmm.
workload is predictable. So I would
Yes.
prefer the best option is we can go with the standard reserve instance. So for the M5 large, I would choose 1 year or 3 years of subscription for standard RI with
Hmm.
all upfront or partial upfront payments. So it will give us the highest discounts up to the 40 to 70% compared to the on demand instances. So
Hmm.
like that we can reduce the cost and uh, manage the things.
Yeah. That is a very good answer to cover this interview questions and the scenarios. And as you explained, like reserved RI and also cost saving RI, flexible RI. That cost comparison is the main key point here to shows how much we are saving the cost here. As you go with the standard RI with 1 2 3 lock-in period warranty, that's a very best option in this ideal scenario, as we know that our workload is 20 to 7 20 bar 7, and we are identifying the workload, so we going with the standard array is a perfect option here. And also we can do like this 1 year lock-in period we can do, and we will see how we are performing there and how our cost is saving. Then we can company or we can discuss and we can extend to till 3 years also. Then we can get a maximum benefit like 70%, as you clearly mentioned. This is the way we can reduce this cost. Yeah. So you can go with next question.
Sure, Manoj. We'll go
Yeah.
with the next question now. Yes, you can look at this diagram to understand the first scenario in better way. So we'll go with the next question. I will ask this question to Rupa. So the question is, you are running a seasonal business, means that what is requirement, whatever your EC2 application is there, it is going to run for 9 months, and 3 months it will be shut down, free. So, okay. So by considering this scenario, how would you means you are going to buy reserve instance, or you are going to by any other type, or what you are going to do, how you are going to design a architecture for this scenario? Can you explain?
Yeah, sure. So, no, I would choose not buying the standard reserved instances here, as it wouldn't work here. It's not the best idea because reserved instances are built on a continuous clock. So, once you commit for either like 1 year or 3 years,
Hmm.
the AWS charges would continue even if you don't want, even if the instance is stopped or running. So it means for over 3 months, when our workload is off or down, we would still be paying for those reserved instances. So instead of reserved instances, the better option is first is by using the savings plan with the compute savings plan. It lets us commit to our per dollar per hour spends for over 1 to 3 years, and using and there is also a flexible they are also flexible across different instance families and different regions as well. So even using with the Fargates or Lambda services, these are feasible, and we could also keep it low to match up to 9 months at least. And the second thing is on demand with auto scaling, that is with start and stop schedules for seasonal workloads are preferable here, so that you can just pay for whatever you actually need for it. And next is we can use spot instances if the workload can handle our interruptions. And if the workload must stay for approximately 9 months, you could mix the strategies. So reserved instances for baseline steady demands for during for up to 9 months. So let me take a real world scenario. For example, during school kind of applications, schools usually runs for the first 9 months, and the other 3 months are usually the summer holidays. So in this case, we can shift with savings plans with spot for our workloads. So this is pretty much about my answer.
Yes, super. So here we are not using continuously for 1 year or 3 year, means we are not committing that. So we cannot go reserve instance type, because there we have to commit for 1 year or 3 year. Then we are going to save the money in that case. But here we are going to use the particular EC2 instance for 9 months, and we are going to shut down this for 3 months. So we have, but we use or not use, we have to pay the bill for 12 months in the case of reserve instance. But if we go on demand, then whatever we are going to use for only that purpose, we have to pay, right? Means you are using for, we are using for 9 months, only we are going to pay for 9 months. But if we want to save the cost, we can combine, mix and match with the spot instances. So we can use spot instances to save the cost. If when we are when we want, means we can able to adopt the failures also. So in that case, we can use spot instances for the saving the cost, and we can combine with on demand. So for this is we can use in best cost optimization purpose also. This is the main scenario for this particular questions. You can understand this using the diagram also. You can refer this diagram also to understand in better way. So we'll go with the next question. Yes, Manoj?
Yeah, I'm going with this scenario with Pradnya. Hi, Pradnya. Here, this is our scenario. Initially, we bought a convertible RI, means a reserve instance. Initially, our work it is purely for the compute optimized, like a CPU, like that things, processing those things. But after sometimes we are shifted that workload from CPU compute optimized to the memory heavy. Okay, like memory level we are came. How would we adjust this changes and without losing our cost benefit using this RI instance?
Okay. So here, based on the scenario, we like the two key points we should consider while planning and for planning for this overall scenario. So first one is the cost benefits we are looking for, the cost optimization one, and the convertible reserved instances were like what by the company. So here the reserved instances, based on the reserved instances, we are having like convertible and the standards as well, standard reserved instances. So with the reserved instances, we can like reserve that particular instance or the instance type for within like 1 year or up to 3 years. So here we are like it is mentioned like a convertible reserved instances.
Yes.
So that means the convertible means we can as per the requirement, if at the time of purchasing I'm purchasing based on the compute optimized, and later on as the requirement changes, it's now convertible. Now I can convert the same into the memory optimized. So likewise the instance family as well as the instance size both can be converted if we are having the convertible reserved instance. So so as this is a convertible reserved instance, the cost benefit as well we can achieve, and there will be no loss in terms of a cost. So in this way we can achieve this particular requirement for the customer.
Yeah, very well. You covered the scenario, and another one small details we can add like that. We need to add. We need to take the reserve instance, right, when we are converting from like cost optimized to the memory heavy. Only one scenario we need to add here, like to get that cost benefit means you have like a C5 large in the cost benefit. So like a CPU centric, when you are going to the memory optimized, then you need to buy a like family, see instance family like R5 large only, means equivalent of the same family or more than that one, then only we can save the cost. With if we go with below that one like a C5 large, if I choosing a R3 or R5 small like that, then we will lose our benefit. Okay, so always whenever we need to convert any instance using convertible option, we need to make sure that we are choosing the same equivalent instance type in other family instance family or more than that. That is a single criteria we need to know here. That's the one, and you can use this diagram to learn easily what is the different way we can achieve this, or with different families like that also we can think. Yeah, we can go with next question, Sonali.
Yes. So the next question I will ask to Saurabh. So the question is, your financial team wants to bring their own SQL Server license to AWS. How would you decide between the dedicated host or dedicated instance? Mia, so you have your suppose you are having a Microsoft license with you. You don't want to buy that license from the AWS. So whatever the license you are having, you want to bring that license into AWS. So in that case, you are going to use dedicated host or dedicated instance. Could you explain me?
Yes. So for this scenario, when bringing your own SQL Server license to AWS, the choose between the dedicated host and the dedicated instance comes down to the license rules and the visibility. So the dedicated instance runs on the hardware that is isolated to a single customer. But AWS still manage the underlying the host, and you do not get full visibility of the physical socket and the host. On the other hand, the dedicated host give you the physical server visibility, which is often required for the compliance with the licensing term, especially if the license is tied to the physical core. So if the finance is especially asking to bring the SQL Server license, so we need to check whether the licensing term require the per core physical mapping. If so, the dedicated hosts are the safer option because they allow the license probability and ensure the compliance. As the AWS provide the visibility into the physical hardware, if the licensing is more flexible and do not need a physical mapping, then the dedicated instance will be used. but typically most organizations lean toward the dedicated host in this case to avoid any the licensing issue. Yeah, so that is
Yes, very well explained by both the scenario when to use dedicated host type and when to use dedicated instance. So in the dedicated host, you are going to use your license, that service, that facility provided by the AWS. You can use that things. But if you are going to use a license from AWS, so it will be going to charge a large amount. So that is going to charge for license. Along with the license, they are going to charge you for the AMIs also. So if you have your own license, you are going to save the money in that case also. So if you have your own license, we will go with the dedicated host. So you can see the diagram also to understand the concept in better way. And we will move further for the next question.
Yeah.
Yes, Manoj.
Yeah, sure. I'm going this question with Naresh. Hi, Naresh. Let's discuss this scenario. Here, our scenario like this, we have our compliance requirement means for our one of the project. So for that requirement, the main requirement criteria is we should be make isolation. There should be like a instance level isolation, and on the physical servers means how would you configure our environment so that AWS can meet this our criteria and to provide our servers for the isolations also.
Okay. For this requirement, uh, uh, instance level isolation on a physical server, we can go for dedicated host or dedicated instance. AWS provides these two options. Dedicated instances means we can run these on hardware that's dedicated to only particular single customer. However, AWS chooses the physical server for your business. You don't have visibility into which host your instance is placed, and it is useful if you want isolation but don't care about placement. Another option is dedicated hosts. It is recommended for strict compliance. A physical server fully dedicated to you, and you can see and control how instances are placed on the host. If we use existing software licenses that are bound to physical servers, then we can go for that. Better for audit and compliance reporting, because we can prove this workload runs on this physical machine only. Finally, dedicated instance means if you just need hardware isolation but don't care about which host, we can go for dedicated host if you need only full control, visibility, and license management. Yeah.
Okay, this is a very good answer which you covered. Okay, here we have our requirement is we need to do a isolation of the instance level. Okay, this instance method means AWS will ensure our instance never shared with some physical physical server with other AWS account. Okay, but a host selection AWS will choose which dedicated physical host for your instance will land, that you can't control. Okay, and also here movement during maintenance AWS may migrate your instance to another dedicated host, but still ensuring no other customer can run run on that hardware. Okay, basically that is called isolated EC2. And also here you cannot see or manage sockets or cores like host ID, so that it's completely depending on the AWS. You just isolating your EC2. But in the same case, when we choose a dedicated host for isolation, then the isolation of this physical server assigned to your account means the entire physical rack server is assigned to your account. And here host means here you control the host ID, you control the socket, physical cores, everything you will control. which one you required for socket, which license you required, everything you will control. And here movement also, instance stay in pinged, okay, and host unless you migrate them. AWS don't touch that. Even they will ask permission like that. Even though for like what a certificate also, they will choose you. They will ask you which certificate you need to apply here, like that. So if we go with this isolation of EC2 level, then we can go with a dedicated instance, so that it will be helpful for our requirement. Not more than that, go to dedicated host. That like this we can choose our isolation method here.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go with next question, Sonali.
Yes, Manoj, thank you so much. Whatever the things you explained in very detailed way.
Yes.
So all the speakers and yeah, you have a very good experience in the industries. So whatever your concept you are explaining, that will definitely help others. So if you need any help regarding to interview preparation, or if you are getting rejected into interview because you don't have the real-time project knowledge, you can feel free to reach out to us. You can feel free to reach out to our experts. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, team.
Thank you.